Love is not something the calendar can measure. It doesn't check your birth year, it doesn't ask how many candles are on the cake, and it never waits for permission from society. Arrives when two souls recognize each other, when hearts speak a language older than time itself. Some people meet early, some meet late, and some meet exactly when they are ready. Love never comes at the wrong age. It comes when courage is stronger than fear, when understanding is deeper than judgment, and when two people choose to see each other beyond numbers. This is a story about love that grows wiser, not older. A love that proves connection has no expiration date, only truth, patience, and the quiet bravery to feel. Love is not related to age, because love does not live on a timeline. Doesn't wake up counting years or fall asleep worried about numbers. Love exists in a place deeper than calendars, deeper than expectations, deeper than the rules people create when they are afraid of what they don't understand. Love begins the moment two souls recognize something familiar in each other, something honest, something quietly brave. And that recognition has nothing to do with how long someone has been alive, but everything to do with how deeply they have lived. Some people carry old souls in young bodies. Some people take decades to learn how to feel without fear. Some hearts grow faster because they have been broken early, and some hearts grow slower because they were protected too long. Age cannot explain any of that. Age can only count time, and time alone has never been enough to define love. Love is shaped by experiences, by pain survived, by kindness learned the hard way, by the moments when someone chose to stay gentle in a world that tried to harden them. When love appears, it doesn't ask how old you are. It asks if you are honest. It asks if you are willing to listen. It asks if you can be patient when things are unclear and steady when things are difficult. Love looks for courage, not youth. It looks for presence, not perfection. And sometimes, the people who have lived longer carry a calm that feels like home, while the people who have lived fewer years carry a fire that feels like truth. Neither is better, neither is wrong. They are simply different expressions of the same human longing. To be seen, to be chosen, to be understood, without having to explain every scar. Love grows where two people meet each other without masks. That meeting can happen at any age. It can happen when someone is still discovering who they are, or when someone has finally made peace with who they've become. The heart does not retire. The heart does not expire. The heart does not stop hoping just because society says it should be quieter now. If anything, the heart becomes more honest with time. It stops pretending. It stops hazing what looks good and starts reaching for what feels real. People often confuse age with maturity, but maturity is not guaranteed by years. Maturity is built in moments where someone shows empathy over ego, understanding over judgment, love over control. There are young people who know how to love with extraordinary depth, and there are older people still learning how to love without fear. Love does not reward age. Love responds to openness. Love answers sincerity. When two people connect, it is rarely about matching timelines. It is about matching values. It is about shared silence feeling comfortable instead of awkward. It is about conversations that don't feel forced, about laughter that arrives naturally, about disagreements that don't threaten the bond because respect lives underneath them. These things are not taught by age. They are learned through awareness, through reflection, through choosing growth instead of pride. Love is not about who arrived first in the world, but about who shows up fully in the relationship, who listens without interrupting, who holds space without trying to know everything, who understands that love is not possession but partnership. When two people meet with that understanding, age fades into the background. It becomes a detail, not a definition. There is a quiet strength in love that comes from experience. Experience doesn't always mean years. It means having felt deeply, having lost and healed, having stood back up with softness still intact. And there is a quiet magic in love that comes from freshness, from curiosity, from seeing the world with wonder. When these energies meet, something balanced can form. Not imbalance, not control, not dependency, but exchange. Learning flows both ways. Growth moves in both directions. Love is not a competition of who knows more or who has lived longer. It is a shared journey where both people evolve. One may offer patience, the other may offer perspective. One may bring calm, the other may bring light. Love does not ask them to be the same age, it asks them to be on the same side. People fear love that doesn't fit familiar patterns because it challenges the stories they were told. But love has never asked for permission. Throughout time, love has always crossed boundaries of distance, of language, of culture, of age, because love follows truth, not rules. And truth is rarely comfortable before it is accepted. When love is real, it does not take advantage, it does not rush, it does not dominate. Real love protects dignity, it respects individuality, it understands power and handles it carefully. That kind of love cannot be reduced to age difference, because it is built on consent, clarity, and care. Where those exist, love is valid. Where those are missing, age is irrelevant anyway. The heart recognizes safety before it recognizes age. It feels calm before it does math. It knows when it can rest. That rest is what many people mistake for age compatibility, but it is actual. Emotional alignment. Feeling understood is timeless. Feeling valued is ageless. Love does not erase differences, it honors them. It does not pretend that age brings different stages of life, it acknowledges them and navigates them with respect. Love is flexible, love adapts, love listens, love grows into the space between two lives and makes that space gentle instead of tense. Some of the deepest love stories are not loud. They are quiet choices made every day, choosing to be patient when it would be easier to walk away, choosing to communicate when silence would feel safer, choosing to grow together instead of demanding sameness. These choices are not learned by counting birthdays, they are learned by paying attention to the heart. Love is not late, love is not early, love arrives when two people are ready to recognize it. Ready does not mean perfect, ready means willing, willing to be vulnerable, willing to be honest, willing to care deeply without guarantees. That willingness has no age requirement. A young heart can love with purity, an older heart can love with wisdom. When those meet in mutual respect, love becomes something steady and alive, not fragile, not reckless, alive, breathing, evolving. Love doesn't need justification, it doesn't need approval, it only needs truth. And truth lives in how two people treat each other when no one else is watching, in how they speak when things are hard, and how they protect each other's humanity. Age may shape perspective, but it does not limit capacity. The capacity to love deeply, sincerely, selflessly exists wherever there is a heart brave enough to open. And bravery does not belong to any generation. Love is not related to age because love is related to choice. The choice to see another person clearly, the choice to stand beside them, not above them. The choice to grow again and again, even when it would be easier to stay the same. Love is not related to age because time only teaches lessons. It does not define the heart's ability to feel. The heart does not age the way the body does. It does not stiffen with years unless fear is allowed to settle inside it. When fear is released, the heart remains open, curious, and capable of connection at any stage of life. Love begins there, in openness, not in youth or numbers. People often assume love belongs to a certain season, as if there is a correct window when it is allowed to happen. But love has never followed seasons. It appears in unexpected moments, during quiet transitions, after long silences, after storms, after healing, sometimes even after people have stopped looking for it. Love doesn't arrive because someone is young enough or old enough. It arrives because two people are awake enough to recognize it. Age measures how long someone has existed, not how deeply they understand themselves. Some people spend decades avoiding their own emotions, while others face them early and learn how to hold space for another human being. Love responds to self-awareness. It responds to empathy. It responds to emotional honesty. These qualities are earned, not assigned by age. When two people connect, what they feel is resonance. A sense that conversations flow without force, that silence feels safe, that being seen does not feel threatening. This resonance is not created by similar ages, but by similar emotional frequencies. When those frequencies align, love feels natural, not confusing. Love does not ask someone to erase their past. It respects it. It understands that years lived bring memories, mistakes, growth, and clarity. A heart that has lived longer may carry patience and calm. A heart that has lived fewer years may carry intensity and hope. Love does not see these as conflicts. Love sees them as balance. True love is never about control. It does not use age as leverage. It does not speak down or look up. It stands eye to eye, regardless of years. Respect is the foundation. Without respect, love collapses, no matter how close the ages are. With respect, love becomes steady, even across differences. People fear age differences because they worry about imbalance, but imbalance comes from intention, not age. A relationship is defined by how decisions are made, how voices are heard, how boundaries are honored. Love that listens is equal. Love that learns from each other is equal. Equality is behavior, not arithmetic. Love is patient when it needs to be. It does not rush growth. It does not demand sameness. It understands that people are at different chapters, and it chooses to walk together anyway. Walking together does not mean matching steps. It means moving in the same direction with care. Age does not determine readiness. Readiness is emotional. It is the ability to communicate without cruelty, to disagree without disrespect, to love without possession. Own people reach this readiness early. Some reach it late, some never reach it at all. Love looks for readiness, not years. The heart recognizes truth before logic catches up. That recognition feels like calm, like familiarity, like relief. It feels like being able to breathe fully around another person. This feeling does not ask for birth certificates, it asks for presence. Love grows through shared effort, through showing up when things are ordinary, not just when they are dramatic, through consistency, through choosing kindness in small moments. These habits are learned through intention, not age. There is a misconception that love must look a certain way to be real, that it must follow a script written by society. But love has always rewritten scripts. It has always chosen authenticity over approval. And the strongest love is often the quietest, because it does not need to prove itself. When love is genuine, it expands both people. It does not shrink one to elevate the other. Growth flows in both directions. Wisdom is exchanged. Perspective is shared. Curiosity remains alive. Love becomes a place where both people continue becoming themselves. Age differences do not weaken love. Fear does. Judgment does. Insecurity does. When these are absent, love stands firm. When these are present, love struggles even between people born the same year. Love is not about reliving youth or clinging to the past. It is about meeting in the present, about choosing each other now as you are, not as you were or might have been. The present moment has no age. There is beauty in love that understands time. That does not waste it, but also does not race against it. Love knows that moments matter more than milestones, that connection matters more than comparison. Love teaches patience to those who move quickly and courage to those who move cautiously. It balances energy. It softens edges. It creates understanding where assumptions once lived. People who truly love do not fear questions. They welcome them. They do not hide behind age as an excuse or a defense. They communicate. They clarify. They care enough to be transparent. Love does not promise ease, it promises meaning. Meaning grows when two people choose to understand each other beyond surface details. Age is a surface detail. Character is not. The heart does not count years when it feels safe. It counts moments of honesty, moments of laughter, moments of shared silence. These moments build intimacy, not time. Love is not about fitting into expectations. It is about creating a reality that feels true to the people living it. And truth is always personal. When love is real, it inspires growth rather than fear. It encourages both people to become better, not smaller. It invites reflection. It invites patience. It invites depth. Age does not teach love how to stay. Choice does. Choosing again and again to show up with integrity. Choosing to listen when it would be easier to assume. Choosing empathy when ego wants control. Love is not related to age because love is related to awareness. Awareness of self. Awareness of the other. Awareness of the space between two people that must be protected, not dominated. In that space, love breathes. It grows quietly. It strengthens without noise. It becomes something steady, something real, something that does not need explanation, something that simply exists because two hearts chose to recognize each other.